It does. And now you're actually getting into, I don't like the word advanced, but when we divide the four directions up, we have one direction that's called cognition. And this is a functional group, by the way. This isn't any absolute way of looking at the human experience.
Mhm.
This is functional categorization. We're just categorizing things so that we can functionally work with it. But we put something in what you're talking about would be in what I would call the cognition direction, and that's actually when we start to get to the cultivation factor. So emotion is in the cultivation or is in the uh, cognition direction. And again, that's because you can pay attention to how you feel, the emotion, while simultaneously paying attention to your breath, while simultaneously paying attention to your body, and while simultaneously engaging your outside environment. So you're able to do all four of those things at the same time. And eventually, I go from the word emotion to state of being. And now this is
Mhm.
definitely a little bit more of an accumulated topic, but
Mhm.
that state of being can become your point of attention, but it's still IPA. So, for example, I cultivate contentment. I don't
Mhm.
like looking at the clock. I don't like, oh my God, I got to work tomorrow. I have 12 hours. I can't wait for my next day off. I don't like that. I don't like the feeling that that creates. I don't like the audacity to be like unhappy with the moment. You know, I'm alive.
Mhm.
I'm not going to take my life for granted willingly, to that extent. So I make sure to redirect my practice and to go back to that feeling of contentment. That has taken a lot of practice to get to the point where I can create the space to simply engage that feeling, but that is where we're going to the point where now our state of being and state of our emotions is an aspect of state of being. Your current surroundings is an aspect of state of being. State of being has a large degree of fluctuation, but you can still maintain a certain, um, it's a part of your experience. And so we say that we feel it. And that's where this word feeling comes from, because it's a part of our experience. We can sense our own emotional cocktail, if you will, or state of being, if you will, which has an energy element that maybe emotion does, but isn't as recognizable. So ultimately, Santina, if you are at a party and you're feeling really good and you are pretty good at your practice, you could have 3 points of attention, and one of them is that feeling of goodness, but you got to have your attention there. If you start talking about this, that, and the other thing, and your attention starts going willy nilly, you're not paying attention to that feeling. It may still exist, but you're not highlighting it. There's a difference between it simply existing in the background and it being charged with your attention, it being enlarged and starts to move because of your attention. Remember, E leads chi, where the mind goes, the energy flows. Does that make sense? So even when you're in a flow state, I'm aware of the overall flow state, and that is still a point of attention. I'm not mindless.